eventually become the stories that we leave to those who come after us. The things we do become our stories. The people we experience our lives with become supporting characters. In turn, we become supporting characters in their stories as well. We build our stories together, one day at a time. Our stories come in many varieties. Sometimes the stories are funny. More than one night has been spent telling my friends about how Nick and Michelle spent the evening babysitting my daughter Mara. That was the day Nick learned not to give a 5-year-old candy before bedtime. BJ learned not to leave hair bleach in for too long. He spent the fall of 2013 looking like a Kevin Federline stunt double. The funny stories are the ones that we tell in the good times. Sometimes our stories are of perseverance and hard-won victory. These are the stories we tell ourselves or those that we're close enough to share our moments of weakness. Like right now. We tell ourselves these stories to remind ourselves what we've made it through, the things that we've already survived. Every new story matters. Each new experience is informed by who we are, and they're important in forming who we become. Marriage is ultimately about writing your own story with a good co-author. Sometimes you have to play the role of editor. It's important to have someone swat away the good idea fairy before they cause too much trouble. Nick, Brian, this is the moment it begins. Today's the day that you start writing your story together. Luckily, you've both chosen great co-authors. Prologue's almost over. Do you want to start your story together? Now, the key to a good story is balance. We have dreamers and realists. One would think that the dreamers would find the dreamers and the realists would find the realists, but the opposite seems to hold true. Dreamers and realists find each other because they need each other. Dreamers are the ones who teach realists how to fly. Realists keep dreamers from flying too high. But marriage is about more than just compromise. It's about being unafraid to state your differences. You two will empower each other to be who you are. There are parts of all of us that we want to keep secret. There are things we want to say but won't for fear of misunderstanding. Sometimes we won't risk writing a new story because we're afraid to write it alone. Marriage is not about deluding yourself for the sake of another person, but rather being true to yourself and your husband. You are the man your husband is marrying, not some facade of who you think he wants you to be. Nick, Brian, you both bring different strengths to this story. You can't hide yourself. You have to encourage your husband to love himself as much as you love him. People evolve as their stories progress, but your husband will evolve alongside you. People change, but your husband will grow along with you. Do you both promise to embrace your differences together?
We do.
We often say in sickness and in health at weddings, as painful as those times are, they demand that we step up. A strong marriage is more than just stepping up to the big events. Your marriage is going to involve boring Sunday afternoons, lulls in your professional lives, and long-winded wedding ceremonies. Not every day is legendary, but every day is important. Stories build over time. As events occur and people learn. There are times where a lull's going to come and there is no big moment, no great heroic act to perform in service of your love. The difficult times are not sickness or stress. The past 72 hours, if you didn't notice, have been fairly stressful. Everybody stepped up. Everybody made a huge difference and helped make this wedding successful. We all have plenty of stories about the wrong color nail polish. We have stories about hand shopping that didn't go quite as quick as we wanted. And BJ, you have a story about an endless stream of cupcakes that never seemed to be fully finished. Tomorrow there isn't going to be a wedding plan. There's going to be calm. It isn't the bad times that test us as much as the times where we're listless. It's in these times that we trust our partners to help keep our heads clear and our feet moving forward. There's always something new to learn. There's always a new story to write. We need time to relax, to take stock of our lives, but those moments can't be left to become trends. When a big moment doesn't present itself, you're going to rely on your husband to keep your head in the game, to keep you from becoming complacent. Marriage is not a highlight reel. It's working behind the scenes to support and challenge your husband. Do you trust your husband to push you forward when you feel the weight of the world pushing against you?
We do.
Today, you two are making more than a commitment just between yourselves. What you're doing is joining two families together. Your families have been key supporting characters in your stories up until today. That doesn't stop. You're just getting a much bigger supporting cast. You're going to have more birthdays to remember, more Christmas celebrations to schedule, and probably a lot more late nights cooking for some wedding. We need each other. Our families were here with us in the beginning. They're going to be with us throughout our stories. Both of your parents' houses are covered in pictures of you at every age. They watched you as a boy. They helped you learn to read, to thrive, to cook. Your families have been part of your stories, and you've both been central to theirs. Today is a strange and wonderful day for them. Little Nick and BJ aren't asking for cookies or learning to ride a bike or trying to stay up past their bedtime. You're starting a family together today. But you never start being part of your family gathered here today for you. Nothing can change the fact you're always going to be sons and brothers. You are joining your husband's family as surely as he's joining yours. Your family is a foundation in your life, and it will be tomorrow the same as it was yesterday. You accept your new role as son and brother in your new extended family.
We do.
Brian, do you take this man to be your lawfully wedded husband, to love and cherish him, to write your story together with him?
I do.
Nick, do you take this man to be your lawfully wedded husband, to love and cherish him, to write your story together with him? We're going to do this one more time.
I do.
I think that's up. Please exchange the rings. That is a photo medal ring.
Left hand.
This looks bland. Someone give me some butter. How much Crisco is left in the house? Come on, Puerto Rican, come on.
Do you both pledge your love together to support and challenge each other, to provide comfort and strength to each other?
We do.
By the power vested in me by the state of New York, I now pronounce you husbands. You may kiss your partner.